Well, welcome to this vid, guys. We're going to be looking at our 200 Series 2014 VX Landcruiser. It was originally my parents'. They bought it brand new, and we have then bought it off them 6 years later with 100,000 Ks on it. So we'll have a quick walk around the outside, then we'll jump into the engine bay and then go through the inside of the car. You can see a couple of things that we've done to modify. Some of them are cool, some of them are pretty stock standard. A lot of people are doing it, but the things that we like about the car as well. So yeah, we'll move straight to the front of the car, I suppose. It's got a colour-coded ARB Sahara winch bar, and our number plate is on a fold-up hinge, which is nice and easy to access that. The colour of this car is vintage gold, and we found it really good for hiding dirt, and it's actually surprisingly a very cool colour. It's in the hot summer suns that we have. We don't get really hot inside the car. In the car, the paint doesn't get really hot, so it's not like having a black car, more like having a white car, but it hides like the red and the sand reasonably well, which we like. A pair of 220 Series X-Ray HID spotlights. They've been on since new. Dad left them on for us. All we've done is just replace the Perspex covers, which are going a bit yellow. So yeah, we've got a GME 4705 6 decibel ground independent gain aerial. We'll get there eventually. This was a white one because this was on another car previously, and instead of walking out for a black aerial, it's just been got a big long piece of heat shrink and heat shrinked it black. So if you've got a white aerial and you want it black, that's the way you can do it. The main reason we've done that is because it's paired up with a 40-inch King's light bar up from the roof, so obviously at night we can get a lot of reflection off that if that was still to be white. So that's why that's been done. Couple of rear defenders, nothing amazing, but we have found that they worked. They are not the cheap $5 ones. They are, I think, about 35 bucks from Super Cheap Auto, and we find these ones actually work. The plastic moulding's quite good. So Safari snorkel. It's not the Air Max, or the R Max. It's just the standard Safari snorkel, so it's quite slimline. For what we do, we don't need that extra bit of airflow, and we find that that is well and truly adequate. Helps get that air intake out of the wheel arch for the dusty roads predominantly, and gives the car a bit more cleaner air, helps keep those filters a bit cleaner. It's all conventional side steps. We've got a set of Toyo AT2 open country all-terrains on the car. They are been on, Dad's had them for quite a few years on this car, so these are almost due for a new set of tyres. So we're in the market for them. I'm thinking about changing. The Toyos have been alright, but maybe just a change. So if you can recommend a brand of tyre that we should be looking at, then put it in the comments below. We would appreciate that, because I reckon in probably 5 or 6 months we'll be in the market for a set of tyres. Up top, roof rack. We've got a roof rack from Ocam 4x4 Industries. We had one of these on the Prado as well, and at the time that we put it on the Prado, we put one on here as when Dad owned it. So this was on from when Dad owned it. We found these really good bar. They're an aluminium bar with a mesh, so it's really easy to hook around and latch things wherever, and they were quite reasonably priced. This car has been with this roof rack down the Gibb River Road and the Great Central Road, done the Great Central Road to Alice Springs and then back again, and then we've done more corrugations on this trip that we're on, which is our Northwest WA Series trip. So if you want to check that out, make sure you jump over and look at that after. And anyway, we haven't had any cracking with the roof rack or any issues like that with those pretty serious corrugated roads. So it's worthwhile having a look at if you're in a market for a roof rack. We've been pretty happy with it. I'll just grab it off Jackie, the camera. Thanks, Jackie. And we'll just jump up here. So all we've got up here is we've got a set of max tracks, which I've just tied on. We've got a solar panel, which is hooked into our 12-volt system, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then we've got our awning that's mounted off the side there. So I'll pass you back to Jackie. That awning, there will be a separate vid on. I'm not sure if it's been released already or if it's to be released if you're watching this vid as soon as it's been dropped. But there will be an extensive vid coming up on that awning. Around the back, at the moment, we're running a Stone Stomper stone guard, which runs between our car and caravan, and it's like a big mesh that runs the whole way along. It is the best of all stone guard protection between car and caravan that you can get. There's other ones like rock tamers and things, which are essentially glorified rubber mud guards, and they don't stop everything, but we've found this Stone Stomper stops everything, so they're really good. Moving around, got a set of two 4-inch work lights from Kings. They're all right, they work good. We haven't had any dramas with them. And then yeah, our awning's mounted on this side, which is a Bush Company 270 XT awning. We've loved it, it's so good. So yeah, make sure you check out that vid when it comes out, or if it's already out, go and check it out. I think that's about it for around the car. Otherwise, then to say, we've got hidden under here at the moment that you can sort of see the back end. It's a 3-inch stainless steel exhaust the whole way through. It's got a really nice low tune note to it, and the car is on a 2-inch Old Man Emu suspension lift kit, so gives us a little bit more clearance. Come on around here, pop the bonnet, have a look at this. So she's a little bit dirty because we've been on roads, not how I would normally keep my engine bay. So the 2014 Landcruisers came out standard with 2 batteries, but they were 2 starter batteries. So your 2 starter batteries were just in parallel together. So what I've actually done is, since I've got the car, I've split them. A starter battery is now just here. We've upgraded that to a 820 cold cranking amp starter battery, and then we've got a secondary battery, which is a Full River 100 amp hour heat resistant AGM. So AGMs can't normally survive in hot temperatures under the engine bay, but we have gone for a heat resistant one on the advice that they can deal with that heat. So we're giving that a go. Hopefully that works out for us. Otherwise it'd be an expensive mistake. I think that battery was like $430 or something. So it's not a cheap battery by any means. To pair those up, we've got a BCDC, which we've cut out a little slot so you can view the panel there. And that has got obviously the solar panel input from the roof rack, and I also wired in an extra just coil of wire here, which can pull out on an Anderson plug, and this is actually another solar input. So I have got a set of Red Arc solar panels, foldable solar panels I've had for about 6 years, and we actually have been using this to plug in those portable panels when we need that extra juice put in, because we're running some pretty energy hungry appliances in the car 24/7. So that's been really handy. So that just parallels up and helps boost our solar capacity if we need it. And then all I do is just coil that up and push that away. We're running a catch can from I'm not sure what is it, a flash lube one. It's a very small catch can, so it's good for just fitting up there. A lot of them are quite big and bulky and take up a lot of space. In this engine bay, because we've got a fair few accessories, we don't have that space, so that's been really good. If you don't know what a catch can is, it takes out residual oil from your air intakes to help stop clogging up and your air intakes getting all oily, and then carbon getting in there, and then eventually narrowing your air intakes, which makes you lose power. So they are a well worthwhile investment as soon as you get any late model diesel. So we've got that. Our tap runs just down behind the wheel here, so we've just got to drain that every service. So and we'll get, you know, if you empty it into a 600ml bottle, we'll get about this much worth of oil out of every service, so that's good. Behind here, right next to it, we've got a aftermarket inline fuel filter. I think it's a 30 micron filter, and that's just there to help take out any additional water if we get bad fuel when we're in remote environments. So that's that. Our dual batteries, really basically, and then we're just running all our relays and bits and pieces back here. I've tried to make it as neat as possible, but yeah, that's it, like, there's not too much in the engine bay. We haven't done any intercooler upgrades or anything like that yet. Haven't changed out the air blocks. We haven't found that we've had too many issues with air getting through. I know some people have said that these air boxes can leak. We haven't had too many dramas, so I don't know, let us know if you've had issues and if that should be changed out. I think it's time to move on through to the inside of the car. So all right, come on round. So this is the inside of ours. Being a VX, it's leather, and it's actually got the light interior, which is so good for hot weather, because this leather, even in the middle of the day, you get in and you do not burn yourself. If it was black leather, you would be burning yourself immensely, and that is one of the disadvantages of leather normally. Got a lot of aftermarket switches sort of going on. Well, some of them, there's actually not many here, because most of them we've moved across to the other side. We're running a Red Arc Tow Pro Elite version 3 for towing, and then this LED here, I just bought a blue LED and drilled out a blank, and that LED is from our BCDC 1240D Red Arc charger under the engine bay. That solid light is just telling me that I've got a charge input at the moment. So that charge input is the solar panel on the roof rack that is currently charging my secondary battery. Then over the other side of the steering wheel, we've then just got all our other aftermarket switches that we've got. So just our spotlights, we've got the light bar on its separate circuit, so, and that's all switched through the high beam, and then we've got the work lights on the back there. So that's that. We'll show you a bit more about that when we get round the other side. In the back here, currently, because we're traveling, we've got our second row set of seats folded up. It was easier for us to fold these second row of seats up because there's all airbags in the sides of these seats, so to disconnect them we could have airbag lights, and it's just not worth it. So we've folded them up, and we've made this board here which bolts, picking up some bolt holes from the seats, and then we've had routed out, and then we've carpeted these grooves, and then we've got straps. So I normally have sitting here a bucket, so it sits in this ring and clamps that down. We've then got 40 litres of water, our 2 camp chairs, and over the other side we've got the Jenny. So that all bolts down, that can't move anywhere, which is really, really good. If I throw this up, so that's out the way, you can jump on in here. We actually have a third battery. So this is a non-heat resistant AGM, also from Fall River. This is a 120 amp hour battery. So the heat resistant AGM under the engine bay and this one are connected in parallel together. So we've got 220 amp hours of deep cycle capacity, which we need because we are running 2 ARB fridge freezers. This 78 litre one is our freezer, and then we've got a 47 litre, 48 litre fridge there, which is running just literally for drinks because it's so hot up here. We've got our little 12 volt panel, which I made up. A little bit sort of cluttered and stuff through here at the moment. That's what happens, I suppose, when you're touring. I've tried to make that as neat as possible, so if I've got any issues I can just check all of those fuses and go from there. While we're here, we have got these. These are Solar Screen. This is their touring set. So touring set is your back passenger, and then your side windows in your cargo area, and the back window as well. So that's a full set. Otherwise you can just get their cargo sets, which is just your back window and your 2 side cargo windows. We found these really good, hey Jackie?
Yeah.
So they reflect a lot of the heat out of the car, and they're a really nice grey, nice soft plush grey on the inside. So check them out, Solar Screen. If you're in a market for one of them, we find them really good. Suction caps, and we can just pull them off. They come in a nice storage bag. So once we've done these and we want to convert this back to our normal everyday car, we just pull them off, roll them up nice and gently, and put them in a storage bag, and they don't get damaged. So that's really good. Come on around to the back. This is like my favourite part of the car, because this is like where all the business happens, you know, where you can get all your cold drinks and all the things you need. We've just got a bit of a picnic rug just to come out here, mainly because we've got the light carpet, helps keep dirt and stuff off it. So yeah, for 78 litre fridge freezer, I'm pretty sure they're a 47 litre ARB fridge freezer. So we've got this one just on a slide out rack there, and that is full of all our soft drink and water and all the stuff. No beer in there, unfortunately, because I'm not really a drinker. And then we've just got our freezer running here, which is on a MSA drop side. Really good. If you haven't seen these before, this is how they work, right? You pull them out, and once you've pulled them out, here's my thong, you just let go of the handle and they drop away, right? And suddenly, from that fridge being up here and unable to see into it, it's now at the same level, if you look through, as that other fridge freezer, which makes that super easy to get into. So we've just got bait and ice creams and frozen meals and stuff in there. So this is amazing, so good. And then you just lift it up, push it home, done. Right. Single King's drawer. This is a 900mm long drawer, which suits wagons. We just bought a single drawer because when we have all these fridges out, I can actually remove the fridges, put my second, third row seat back in, and I can actually still close that seat down with all this side paneling and everything there, and still be able to carry one additional person with a drawer still bolted in. So we like that configuration a lot. Down the side here, if I pull this out the way, we have got this 12 volt accessory panel, which is from King's. It is just the face that's from King's, and then with the help of Dad, knocked this box up. So that just houses that and all the wiring. We use that heaps. We've got, like for example, our GoPro battery chargers. All that stuff I can plug straight in to either the USB outlets at the bottom, or you've then got two SIG sockets. So that's been really useful. We've then mounted to the side of the drawer, just getting some bracketry and stuff from Bunnings, a single piston ARB compressor. So that was in our Prado, that compressor, and we've just transferred that off to the side of that drawer. So the idea is that if we ever sell this car, we can lift this drawer out. The whole 12-volt panel is just plugged in by one Anderson plug. So all my switch panel, that battery tray, everything lifts out with the air compressor bolted to the side. All that stuff just lifts out. I can whack the 7th seat back in, and we could sell that car and hold on to the whole drawer system and hopefully just bolt it into our new car, and it should work nice and easy. So we've done that, and then temporarily at the moment, just on top of the air compressor, we've just got a 240-volt battery charger. So that is just plugged in through this lead, and when we're plugged in at a caravan park or whatever, if I feel like the solar's not keeping up, we can just plug in and that battery charger will start up and just top my auxiliary batteries up just 100%, Mickey Mouse. And it will also, this lead also plugs in to the 240 volt side of both fridges, so the fridges go off 12 and onto 240 volt. Not much more to say. We've got standard, the 200 Series Landcruisers have got a power point in the back. It's only 100 watt, but we have found that really good. Just the other day, I don't know if we've got any footage. If I do, I'll overlay it. I had the, what are they, Jackie?
Vacuum seal.
A vacuum seal.
Cryovac.
We had a Cryovac vacuum seal just resting on the tailgate here, plugged in, and we were vacuuming some fish that we caught to put into the freezer because it's a little bit too much for us to eat. So we thought, oh, we'll keep it for another time. So we were vacuum sealing that on the back. Amazing, so handy. So that's really good. And then the last mod I suppose we've done, which is temporary at the moment, is our fishing rod holders. So above the fridge, it's all dead space. So why not turn it into a fishing rod holder? So if you want any more info on that, let us know. Maybe we can do a vid on that. But that has been really good. So we can go down the beach. We've got our chairs in the back. I've got space for my tackle box in the back as well. The bucket, which will fill with fishing stuff. We can take fish back in that bucket, put a lid on top. Nothing sloshes around in the car while we're forward driving back or whatever. And the rods are there, everything's there for fishing. Really, really good. So that is the back of that. We found this drawer system so good that we've actually, Dad has got a new 200 Series Landcruiser, which is why he decided to sell this. So we bought it off him, but he's doing the same thing in his car because this just works so good. So we'll have identical setups then. So that'll be nice and easy if we're traveling together. I don't have to go looking for where's this, where's that. So it's all the same. Yeah, as I said, the solar screen just continues round, and these seats just slide nicely in there. And yeah, we've just got a Jenny here. We've used it once or twice, but we haven't needed it too much. We've found solar's been pretty good, and unless we want aircon running in the van, we haven't really used it. So, you know, if you've got good solar, there's probably no need to take a Jenny anymore nowadays. That's the front of the rod holder here. So we've just done some timber here, some conduit saddles, and what we've done to stop these from marking our handles, we've actually lined the inside of them with just some clear sellotape. So hopefully we'll be able to pull these off at the end, and we won't have all metal rub groove marks through our handles because the plastic will just protect that from happening. So it's really good. So, and it keeps the back nice and dark, you know. Also helps, the solar screen helps with privacy, I suppose, a bit. People not seeing exactly what you got. And then the last thing really, down this side, we've got our our GME UHF. The master unit is actually mounted up under this seat. It is a GME TX 3540, and that is just on a flying lead, which, if I just pass it over here, can actually be unplugged through the side of the seat here. So if I want to unplug that, I just unplug that, and then I can just store this section away. We haven't drilled any holes on the dash for this, so this will just sit just down, just on the floor, just in the corner. So it's not really in Jackie's feet, way of her feet, or we'll just sit that up in one of our center cup holders. So didn't really want to drill holes in the dash. The only other thing we've done mod wise is we've got a Blackview dash cam, front and back. Good peace of mind, I suppose, when you're on the road. And we changed out the head unit to a Pioneer Z930 DAB head unit. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay, can have 2 phones connected to Bluetooth at the same time. So Jackie and my phone is both connected, so any one of us who gets a phone call goes straight through to the loudspeaker and whatever in the car. So the quality of the speakers for your wireless phone, Bluetooth phone, are phenomenal, and the touch screen is a capacitive touch display. So the old school ones are resistive, where you really got to push hard. These are like your late model iPhones, Androids, where you just tap 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 and it's super responsive. The colors are really vivid, and it's still got a CD player with the whole dash that hinges up, so we can still play CDs if we want. I have added additional ports down the side, so we've got a 3.5mm jack for anyone that might still just be running that and can't Bluetooth up, and the USB port is also for Apple CarPlay, purely because we are Apple phone people. There is the option to turn that into a Android, what are they, Google Play, I don't know what they're called. Android Auto is what it's called.
Is it?
It's called Android Auto. I can convert that into Android Auto, and then that would be good for Android phones. It doesn't have, I don't think, the capability to be wireless Android Auto. I think it's just wireless Apple CarPlay. But for us, that works fine. That's really it, man. So, we love it. Before this, if you've been following the channel, you would have known we had a 2008 Toyota Prado, which is really good. But when you're thinking about a 4-cylinder, 3-litre single turbo diesel versus a 4.5 twin turbo V8 diesel, the torque and the power that this thing generates is just not even in the same ballpark, you know. So towing a van, full driving off road, I don't even have to think about planting my foot. I just put it in nicely, and this thing just goes and off it goes. So it's been so good, eh? Best purchase I think we've ever had. So that's it, guys. So if you got any questions, any comments, leave us a comment below and we'll see if we can answer them. If there's any other detail you'd like on stuff, let us know as well, and hopefully you have found this informative. And yeah, be sure to check out our other vids in our channel, and give us a like and a subscribe as well, because it helps us out. I think that's about it. Thanks to Jackie for being so well, keeping the camera going this whole time. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, see ya. Woo.